Hi, welcome back. So we're in Chapter 3, Descriptive Analysis, in the last section of Multivariate Descriptive Analysis. In Multivariate Descriptive Analysis, I consider it as a test for you to see whether you have captured the story from the beginning. So we've started with the explanatory data analysis in the form of a univariate analysis. We moved on the bivariate, and that when we had to involve a second variable. Now, when it comes to multivariate analysis, nothing is going to be different, but there are two ways of looking at the subject. The first one from a complete technical aspect, and the second one from analysis aspect. Now, when it comes to technical aspect, what I mean with that is by understanding the mathematical intuition behind the problem itself when it comes to multivariate. In particular, when it comes to mathematical induction, we are trying to capture actually the dependency vector. What we mean with dependency from mathematical perspective by looking at which of these variable actually it is the outcome of the other. I mean, which one is dependent on the other. And usually we do this study when we want to build a predictive model. Now, the second one, it's to look at multivariate descriptive analysis from analytic perspective. In this case, it's more about the field where we are right now. It's a purely descriptive in its nature. The aspect we are trying to capture, it's related to relationship. The relationship between x1 and x2, between x1 and x3, and so on and so forth. Before we come to the conclusion that, for example, x1, it happens to be the result of having x2 with some quantity plus the x3 and another quantity and so on. Before we reach to that conclusion, the question, how did we come up with that? So prediction, it's, as we said in the very beginning, early in this stage, in the form of a probability or regression, it is a second stage. So I don't want you to really mix the terminology of multivariate from dependency and prediction perspective. I want you to stick to the point. We are doing analytic analysis from descriptive point of view on those number of variables that we see have something to do with our research problem. Now, to capture that relationship, we usually rely on a correlation, which is driven from a covariance. The only challenge that you see in multivariate, we are unable to graph all the variable at once, as we did, for example, with the bivariate, because you have more than one dimension. That's why we come up with the idea of matrix of covariance and matrix of correlation. So at this stage, I'm going to show you that what we have done on terms of a univariate plus the bivariate is just equal to our multivariate descriptive analysis. So once you combine these together, you're already in the world of multivariate. So I hope now the world of multivariate to you is clear in this stage, not more than your ability to understand univariate plus bivariate together, how to combine them to come up with your multivariate understanding. That was all for the last section on descriptive analysis, the second pillar of doing your own analysis. I have decided to come up with a comprehensive example on a real data set, and I'm going to take this data set from scratch and I'll walk you through the steps of doing your own descriptive model at the end. I will see you then.